More than a week and a half since the election, and now all of the unofficial votes are tallied. We're calling incumbent Kirk Watson the apparent winner in the Austin mayoral race. KXAN's Grace Reeder has been following all of this very closely for the last week and a half or so. And Grace, I know that you had to stay up quite a while last night to watch all those votes officially come in, and you sat down today with Kirk Watson.
I did. The mayor is calling this a victory today and looking forward to the next 4 years. This took so long because in Texas, a candidate needs more than 50% of the overall vote to avoid a runoff, regardless of how far ahead they are of the other candidates. In this case, Mayor Kirk Watson was ahead of the other candidates by quite a lot, more than 100,000 votes, but he was really close to that 50% mark. When all of the unofficial votes finally came in last night, Watson was at, get this, 50.004% of the overall vote.
Wow.
We're still waiting for Travis and Williamson County to do their canvass, which is basically where they make sure everything is right. And then they'll post official results. That'll happen no later than Tuesday. Hayes County's numbers are official. That's why we're saying apparent winner, because the margin is so slim here, 14 votes. We want to make sure that those official results match up. Second place candidate Carmen Polito is not conceding for that reason. She told me, quote, "Given that the results are unofficial at this point in such a I'm waiting to see an official tally from the 3 counties to declare a position. We owe it to Austinites who have made it clear that they want new and accountable leadership to ensure that every single vote is accurately counted and every voice is heard." But Watson is confident in his victory, saying this, quote, "I want to thank voters for their confidence in me and for electing me to serve as Austin mayor for a 4th time. I sat down with Mayor Watson to talk about his priorities for the next 4 years and what working with a Trump administration is going to look like." We always talk about how you interact with the state, but during this election, now there's a federal element. What role do you see this new federal government playing in what you can get done?
Well, that's a really important question, and implicit in the question is something else. You know, on day one, I guess I get sworn in again on January 6th, but then about a week later, the Texas legislature comes into session. And of course, I've got a lot of experience with that, having served as a Texas senator for this area for 13 and a half years. But what they're looking at also has an impact on what we're doing, particularly when it comes to some things like housing. The legislature and leadership has indicated that they're very interested in how we get more affordable housing in Texas. And of course, thank goodness, Austin can be a leader in that and showing how to do that. But you're right. The federal government, there's a couple of things I would say. One is, I want to make sure that local government is stable, even at a time when some are predicting chaos at the federal level. We can't afford to add to that chaos in some way. But that context is going to be very important. And I'm in a leadership position with the United States Conference of Mayors. That will continue now, of course. And so working through the U.S. Conference of Mayors, I'll have more direct access to what's going on and how we might best play in that. In fact, there's probably a phone call I'll participate in as early as next Monday that talks specifically about how we want to interact as the mayor of Austin, Texas, but as mayors generally, because local government needs the federal government to not lose sight of some of our needs here.
We're going to have more on Mayor Watson's specific priorities for Austin over the next 4 years coming up tonight at 6. Will.
We will look forward to it, and I hope you get some rest.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Grace.
Yep.